Today's lesson is 11.7, solving inequalities by multiplying and dividing. When you multiply and divide each side of the inequality by the same positive number, the inequality will be true. That means that the inequality stays the same. When you multiply and divide by a negative number, you need to reverse the direction of the inequality sign. Now this is why. If you have 2 is less than 4, let's say you multiply it by a negative 1. So here's negative 1 times 2 is less than 4 times negative 1. Well, negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. We keep the same, negative is less than. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Is that statement true? No, it is not true. You have to change the inequality side to make it true. Negative 2 is greater than negative 4. So that is why the inequality signs are reversed. So let's look at number 1. Number 1, the inverse of division is multiplying. So you multiply by 11 on both sides. Cross out 11, you're left with x is less than 33. To do your check, you write the original problem. X over 11 is less than 3. You have to think of a number that is less than 3, but it can go into 11, so you don't have a decimal. So that would say 22. 22 is less than 33, and can go into 11. So 22 divided by 11 is 2. 2 is less than 3. Is that true? Yes, it is. So that means it's correct. Okay, number 2. The inverse of division is multiplication, so you're going to multiply by negative 6 on both sides. Since you're multiplying by negative 6, you have to change your inequality to the opposite. So here on the other line, I would automatically change that. Now you can go ahead and do your crossing out. On this side, you're left with r, and negative 6 times 3.1, you'll get negative 18.6. Now for me, I like to switch this around so that I can read it. So I have r is less than or equal to negative 18.6. Now that you have to do check two ways. You have the less than and you have the equal. So let's do the equal because it's easier. So you have 3.1 is less than or equal to r divided by negative 6. Replace your r with negative 18.6. So 3.1 is less than or equal to negative 18.6 divided by negative 6. 3.1 is less than or equal to negative 18.6 divided by 6. You win, and it's 3.1. And that checks out. Now you got to do one with less than. So you have 3.1 is less than or equal to r divided by negative 6. Think of a number that is less than negative 18.6, but where a number that 6 will go into it. So let's do 24, negative 24. 3.1 is less than or equal to negative 24 divided by negative 6. 3.1 less than or equal to 4. And that checks out. Okay, go ahead and try 3, 4, and 5 on your own, and when you're ready, go ahead and push play. So for 3, you should have, this means multiplication, so you're going to divide by negative 12, divide by negative 12. Now since you're dividing by negative on both of them, that means that your inequality has to switch around, so I would switch this completely. Now you can go ahead and cross out. You have your y, and negative you win, so this would be 5. I switch this around so y is greater than 5. To do your check, you have negative 60 is greater than negative 12y. Think of a number that is greater than 5, so we're going to do 6. So negative 60 greater than negative 12 times 6. Negative 60 is greater than negative 72, and that checks out. Okay, number 4, divide by 4. Are you dividing by a negative number? No, you're not, so you don't have to switch your inequality. So x is less than, I'm going to keep 9/4. It's okay to keep 9/4. That is an okay answer. So now to do your check, you have 4x is less than 9. You got to think of a number that is less than 9/4, which would be 8/4. So 4 times 8/4 is less than 9. If you cross that out, you get 8 is less than 9, and that checks out. Okay, number 5, you're multiplying by -6 on both sides. And you have z is the equal sign, it should be greater than or equal to. Because you're multiplying by negative numbers, going to have to switch, so this would be less than or equal to -42. Okay, to do your check, you have 2 checks you have to do. So first we're going to do the one with the equal. So z divided by -6 is greater than or equal to 7. -42 divided by -6 is greater than or equal to 7. -42 divided by 6 is 7, because you win, is greater than or equal to 7. Well, that checks out because they're equal. Now to do the one that is greater or less than -42, you have z divided by -6 is greater than or equal to 7. Think about a number that is greater or less than -42, but 6 will go into it. Well, let's do 48. -48 divided by -6 is greater than or equal to 7. -48 divided by -6 is 8, is greater than or equal to 7, and that checks out.